Alright, hello everyone. So today I just wanted to talk about the recent Westminster polling which just came out. These two polls were by More in Common and YouGov, two very reliable and accurate pollsters. So let's get right into it. We'll start with More in Common. So, More in Common, the headline voting intentions for July. Let's see. So, Andy Burnham's Labour at 28%. This is a big Labour bounce. Big Andy Burnham bounce. We'll talk about it in a second. But I just want to highlight what this means. Reform UK are no longer top! Corruption is no longer top! And that is brilliant. Again, I don't really care about Reform UK policies, but they are corrupt to the core. And I'm so glad they're no longer top. It's not the British public, because Westminster polls are pretty much England. But the English public are waking up to the fact that Reform UK are corrupt to the core. So, great to see Labour are top in headline voting intentions for More in Common. And just behind Reform UK, by the Reform UK are on 24%. Kemi Badenoch's Conservative Party are on 22%. Man, they are really catching up to Reform UK. So, I think this is because of everyone's finding out about how corrupt Nigel Farage is. He's very corrupt. Farage is the most corrupt man in the UK. He should be in jail for his corruption, in my opinion. If we had actual anti-corruption laws, he would be in federal prison right now. Well, not federal, because we're not just prison. He would be in prison. So Badenoch, all the people who went from Tories to Reform, but are realising Reform are really corrupt, they're either going back to Tories, they're really inspired by Andy Burnham in this More in Common poll. So Kemi Badenoch is on the rise. Behind Kemi Badenoch at 12% is Ed Davey's Liberal Democrats. See, the Democrats, they are really interesting. I want to talk about them a bit. So, the Democrats they do really well with local campaigning. In Scotland, they did really well in the Highlands with their very local campaigns. Though in other places, they didn't do anything. They're a very hyper-local party, which is good for them. I'm really happy for them. I like the Democrats. And obviously in the England local elections, they did very well as well because of their hyper-local campaign. And Watford Mayor, Peter Taylor, he's also very popular. So, but the interesting thing is usually the Democrats do not poll this well nationally. But in the last poll from, I think, a month ago, and all the polls this much have them around 12%. So they are polling nationally pretty well now. So it's good to see that the Democrats are having some strong national support, as well, along with their heavily local campaign. So we'll see. So it's looking optimistic for the Democrats in the future. Behind the Democrats for More in Common is the Green Party. There's Zach Polanski's Green Party. So I want to talk about the Green Party. Now they've fallen to 8% in More in Common, which is very sad. Again, not because of the policies, but it's because the Green Party, say what you want about them, they are a grassroots movement. They only take they're not a corporate party. They don't take corporate money. I think there was a stat for last year. Reform UK, quote unquote, raised 18 million, aka blood money corporate donations, and Green Party was down at I think it was 400,000. So you can see the difference there, and it's very disheartening to see a very grassroots party down at below 10%. Again, Zach Polanski's been into a few controversies. But I'm going to be totally honest. I know about them. You know about them because we're political junkies. Nobody cares about them. I'll put them straight there. Nobody cares about his controversies that much. They're not even that bad. There was controversy about council tax, but then he was cleared of any wrongdoing. It was because he lived on a boat. Yeah, he's a weird guy, alright? He's a weird guy. But he's been cleared of any wrongdoing there. There was also... But nobody cares about that kind of stuff. It's not big. It's not nothing. I think the main reason the Green Party aren't doing as well as they were before is because of Burnham, Andy Burnham. He's come in, he's apologised for Gaza, he's apologised for how Labour's been, he's his first days have been pretty good so far. I can't remember the exact thing he did for pubs, I'll put the article up there, but he did a really good thing for pubs. I think it was something to do with business rates. I can't quite remember. But that was a good thing for pubs. I think this will affect me in Scotland as well. he took 20% off the national VAT for electricity, and that will affect me in Scotland because obviously electricity and energy are a reserve power. So good to see that happening there, and it's going to affect everyone positively. So good to see he's made a couple of good moves there. So that's why the Greens are so low. Again, this is subject to change. If Andy Burnham messes up, Green Party will shoot like a rocket back up. If Andy Burnham does good, the Green Party will probably stay at around 8 to 10%. Then obviously behind the Green Party is just an amalgamation of small parties / independents, and behind them is SNP at 2%. Again, this is normal. The SNP, nobody really cares about them for Westminster. They're pretty much a Holyrood party only. They usually poll 2 to 3% for the Westminster Parliament. Again, any poll to the SNP or Plaid Cymru, just ignore it. Only care about like the Senedd or the Holyrood polls. That'll be the real indication for them. Anyway, so that's interesting. So for the next polling we're going to talk about, this was the YouGov polling. And YouGov are the most accurate pollsters in the country. So let's read all the polling results for July. Reform UK top 22%, Labour tied second 22%, Tories 21%, Green Party 13%, Democrats 11%, Restore Britain 4%, SNP 2%, Plaid Cymru 1%, Your Party 1%, Other 2%. So let's break this down. Reform UK are in decline here. While they are still technically top, they are not top because they are top. They are top because they are tied top. And remember, YouGov was the guys which had them near 40% at one point, like some really crazy statistic like that, and they are in absolute freefall. And you got to remember who is the momentum here. It's clearly Andy Burnham who has the momentum here. He has all the momentum. Again, we already talked about why he had that momentum, and Reform UK are corrupt to the core. The English public is finally waking up to that fact. Again, the Tories, 21%, Badenoch on the rise because all the voters who left her are running back to her right now, and she will be very happy about that. Interestingly, the Green Party here are much higher than they were in the More in Common polling. Here they are at 13%. Now, that's pretty good for them, especially because of the national decline. Though, good to see them, good to see a grassroots party above 13%, above 10%, sorry, and they're at 13%. Pretty good for them. Again, subject to change go higher. I'll talk about more about the Green Party. The Green Party are very progressive and an alternative to Labour. If Labour do bad, the Green Party will go up. If Labour consistently do bad, the Green Party will replace Labour. So, again, Andy Burnham's coming. He's apologised about Gaza, the Gaza genocide. Let's not mince any words here. That's what it is. The UK population thinks it's a genocide as well. In fact, the UK population hates Israel so much, a poll by YouGov showed that 57% of the UK population wants nothing to do with Israel at all. And I think it was only 15% who wanted a relationship with Israel, and everyone else was undecided. So that is insane. Again, he's apologized about that, but he's not done anything about it yet. But to be fair, he's only been in there for like a day. Again, the main things the UK does, we give them the key components to their fighter jets, which have turned Gaza into a zombie wasteland. Their Israeli factories, which make weapons for the IDF in UK soil, those need to be shut down. And obviously the free intelligence runs we do for the IDF, those need to stop as well. Those are the key things the UK does. And obviously the more diplomatic things, the UK is a big diplomatic voice. Like, if you remember back in the Ukraine war, nobody was giving weapons to Ukraine. The UK gave weapons to Ukraine first, then everyone gives weapons to Ukraine. The UK has a big diplomatic voice, we need to use that. If Burnham wants to keep this momentum, he needs to keep the progressive vote. And again, if he messes up, the Green Party will rise. And there have been good and bad signs for that. I already talked about the pub and the electricity thing. However, his transport secretary, his housing secretary, Angela Rayner, has ruled out rent controls, which is very bad because those are a really popular policy. People want them done. So there are bad and good signs. I don't know how it's going to go. Again, Burnham delivers. Green Party will stay like where they are right now because this is like a consolidated vote for them there. If Burnham doesn't deliver, Green Party will shoot up like a rocket, and Reform UK will sadly probably shoot up like a rocket as well. So it's very interesting. Behind them, the Democrats at 11%. Same story with the More in Common polling. I won't repeat myself. Restore Britain at 4%. These guys are to the right of Reform UK. I don't really know how to judge them because they are. I don't know if they're corrupt or not. If they're corrupt, if they're corrupt, they can go to hell. If they're no corrupt, we can have a conversation. I don't know about them. I won't comment. SNB 2% makes sense. Plaid Cymru 2%, 1% makes sense. Like, see these nationalist parties who don't care about Westminster, care about the Holyrood and Senedd Poland. And your party 1%, I don't even know what your party's doing at this point, just join with the Greens ban. Other 2%. So overall, with all this polling, these are the things that are happening. Green Party in decline, with a caveat, however, they could shoot back up. It depends on how Burnham goes. Kevin Badenoch on the rise is true, with a caveat. They could shoot back down if Reform UK, God forbid, clean up their image, or they could surpass Reform and take their seat as the second party, the party of the right wing. The Democrats have consolidated support around 11 to 12 to 13%. That's all been done. Andy Burnham's having a big bounce. It's very good for him right now. And Reform UK are in panic. Nigel Farage is hiding from the media. He's hiding from everyone. He's hiding from YouTube because he knows I'm going to be there to ratio and show everyone my video in his comment sections. It's not looking good for him. And Nigel Farage and Reform UK are in trouble. So again, thank you for listening to my video. I appreciate it. Yeah.